for bacchanal when you make all your scandal. And in your Christmas song you could call people name in parang. But if you have any sense of patriotic dignity, beyond your best behavior wrong 7 February 1974 to 2024, a bittersweet journey. There isn't a better time to reflect on your history. No, it's not the time to sing about parties and politics. I find me nice Grenada does be getting too much lips. I could have sing about the houses in current. No, it's not the time for that. And the what they making in parliament. No, it's not the time for that. About to hide in their sexuality. No, it's not the time for that. About to hungry mouth and beggy. No, it's not the time for that. I'd rather sing something to make our Grenadians happy. Cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, we back on we feet again. We're moving stronger together, back on we feet again. Securing a prosperous future. If we only unite as one, we could build a stronger nation. So let we sing songs of unification. Mommy! Whoa! Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. We celebrating 50 years as an independent nation. Such an occasion called for a big celebration. It is when Grenadians show their patriotism. Independence not the time for no damn confusion. If you think I go come here to embarrass the government or talk about police how they handle crime and accident, you know I prefer to sing about something nice and dandy. Independence not the time for no damn controversy. I could have say how the country fall down flat. No, it's not the time for that. No Grenadian living like dog and cat. No, it's not the time for that. How certain people riding plane like bus. No, it's not the time for that. And why the hell they have put Grenada first? No, it's not the time for that. I'd rather sing something to make everybody happy. Cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, we back on we feet again. In spite of all the challenges, we back on we feet again. Breaking barriers, building up bridges. If we only unite as one, we could build a stronger nation. So let we sing songs of unification. Whoa. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Carnival is the time for bacchanal when you make all your scandal. And in your Christmas song you could call people name in parang. But if you have any sense of patriotic dignity, beyond your best behavior wrong 7 February 1974 to 2024, a bittersweet journey. There isn't a better time to reflect on your history. No, it's not the time to sing about parties and politics. I find me nice Grenada does be getting too much lips. I could have sing about the houses in current. No, it's not the time for that. And the what they making in parliament. No, it's not the time for that. About to hide in their sexuality. No, it's not the time for that. About to hungry mouth and beggy. No, it's not the time for that. I'd rather sing something to make our Grenadians happy. Cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, we back on we feet again. We're moving stronger together, back on we feet again. Securing a prosperous future. If we only unite as one, we could build a stronger nation. So let we sing songs of unification. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Grenada is the only place that I wanna live forever. Even when I'm dead, please ask them to bury me right here. I can't be like the ones who bite again it and eat it. You have nothing good to say, so just shut up your toilet. If I come and say something contrary, you might run me off the stage. So I say you think to put Grenada on the front page. As a certain man, I would like to leave a legacy and be remembered as someone who big up the country. I say set up ganja prisoners free. Now it's not the time for that. Watch you posing by a marijuana tree. Now it's not the time for that. I see them criminals and them getting bail. Now it's not the time for that. None of them politicians them making jail. Now it's not the time for that. But I sing something to make everybody happy, cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, let we sing, let we sing. Back on the feet again. In spite of all the challenges, back on the feet again. Breaking barriers, building up bridges. We only unite as one, we could build a stronger nation. So let we sing songs of unification.
One people, one journey, one future is all we. Yeah, is all away. Aside to say, let me tell you about my country. My country is so dear to me. Established in the 14th centuries, colonized in the 18th centuries. Independence 74. Grenada had freedom for so. Mary Show. Some call the Camahan, some call the Conception Island, others call the La Grenada. We call the Grenada. That's the name we truly prefer. Together we'll build Aspire. Together build Advance. That's the motto. My land, my sweet homeland. My land, my sweet homeland. My land, my sweet homeland. Welcome stone, the lakes of wonders, mountain high and fireside. You will always meet a smile. Face and race don't matter to we. Hearts and hands help build this country. This is home, welcome to my place. Rain or shine, it's plenty niceness. That's the place we truly prefer. Together we'll build Aspire. Together build Advance. That's the motto. My land, my sweet homeland. My land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland. Grenada, 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 Grenada. 'Cause there is no island in the world, no place that you'd rather be than right here in my country. I'm telling you, go all over the world, no place that you'd rather be than right here in my country. Masterclass experience to see. One people, we on one journey. Head up high, walking with pride. Future bright, let's take full flight. Many trials we've encountered. All is one breaking down barriers. Grenada, the land of spice. No retreat like this paradise. 3 islands, one guarantee. Once a year, you won't want to leave. Take a walk or take a drive. Safest place you'll be in life.
Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Saying a special good night to those of you joining us locally, regionally, and internationally. To those of you back on island for the 50th anniversary of Grenada's independence, we say a special good night to you. Met quite a few of you today and yesterday. So saying a special good night to each and every one of you.
Together building a fire, together taking it high.
Good night to you, Zayla, Zoe, Zalia, Deshawn. Yeah, good night to you, Neela and Namara.
Together taking it higher is all our way. I try to say.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's indeed our 50th anniversary of independence.
Na, 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 na. Whoa. Dr. Rod, turn it up for Grenada. Yeah. My land that you celebrate 50.
Yes, folks, remember to hit the like and share.
Baby.
Yeah, you've got to hit the like button. If you don't know how to hit the like button, ask one of the younger ones. They know how to do it very well.
So much for you, yet you had resilience to stand.
And I've been meeting quite a few people that were telling me they're not getting the notifications when we come on. Now, folks, in order to get the notifications, you must click on the notification button when you're subscribed. And let me show you what I'm getting to here. Right. Let me just right. Nice. Yeah. So let me show exactly what I'm talking about, because some folks they're kind of unsure how to subscribe, right, and how to get the notification. So let me just pull this up. Nice. So let me put this across here. Beautiful, right? Yeah, we could just move the chat out of the way. No, best we're going to put the chat back. Right, nice. So here you have the subscribe button, this button here. That is the one that you click on. If you are not yet subscribed, you click on this button and you are now subscribed, right? And then on that button, you click here, and that's for notifications. Now you see the little bell thing here. Nice. So you can click on all and you will get notifications. Every time you'll get all notifications. You see it popped up there. So each time we go live, you will be able to get those messages. All right. Nice. So you go onto the subscribe button. You click subscribe. So you're subscribed. And then after that, you click on the notification button so that you'll get your notifications. All right. Nice.
This is the land. Some strong leaders that come from this island. Land of my birth. Let's celebrate 50. We cannot break my birth. Let's celebrate 50. It would be great. Big celebration for my little island. Let's celebrate.
So good night to all of you joining us via the YouTube. Let's see who's on the YouTube there. Good night to you, Maud Martin, Errol Bonaparte, Carl Jones, Kathleen Ledlow, Deborah Laborde, Lisha Abraham, Alban Harris, good night to you, Agnes Henry, Claude Abraham, Vanessa Lalji, Jacinta Livingston, Sherma Jeremiah, good night to you, Cynthia Bartholomew, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, good night, Carib Spice Fitness, good night, Phyllis Mitchell, Alcy Peters, Maria Noel, Alan Jones, good night to you, Jerome Lewis, good life, Janice Mitchell, Gemma Warwood, Shirley and James, Baby Daddy, good night to you, Gavin Thomas, Matthew Bowen, good night, Theresa Joseph, Marilyn Ferguson, good night, let me see, Jocelyn Matheson, good night, Velma Pascal, Clive Raymond, and I see Veronica Nimrod, Dominic Leroy, Adrian Watts, Dominic Antoine, Dennis Sandy, Jacketman, yeah, Gertrude Abraham, Iva Hollis, Anna Lewis, Devin James, Kathleen Knights, Kenny Buckmeyer, Liza Bernard, Ashley Vlogs and Games, Christy Batiste, Ann Andrews, Fitzroy Phillip, Dolores Redhead, Christine Otley, Rosemary Holas, Shajan John, Sally Carter. I see Islan Musk, Kester Victor, Von Simon, Sally Sally Carter. I see each and every one of you there. Special good night to each and every one of you. I hope that you're having a fabulous night. To those listeners joining us via 92.9 Sister Isle FM, we say a special good night to the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Those of you listening from Bakeway, Union Island, the Grenadian Islands.
Resilience as a people, storms and hurricane, yet you came back again, even COVID-19.
Just getting a message. Man, I just left the hospital where I had to turn back. If someone could just visit up there right now, they will see what I'm talking about. People cursing and frustrated. Some of them have been there since 11 a.m. today. Wow! You're gone to the emergency and 11 a.m. It's now after 8 in the night and people still there from after 11. Nobody's checking on them. Poor people suffering while they're spending so much on independence. And that's from someone who, well, they tried to go to the general hospital, but yeah.
This island, land of my birth, let's celebrate.
And folks, especially with the amount of dust that we're having right now, you will have a significant number of people visiting the emergency room. Yeah, because you're hearing my voice, because I am asthmatic myself. I also suffer with both of them, asthma and sinuses. Yeah, I suffer with both of them. So I know there are quite a lot of people that ended up in the emergency today, will end up there tonight into tomorrow, as long as the dust continues as thick as it is. You will have quite a number of people going up there.
Let's celebrate. Whoa, this is the land we have got.
So I hope that the situation that obtains up there is sorted out ASAP.
Land of my birth, let's celebrate.
Good night to you, Shemi.
Cannot live my birth, let's celebrate. Oh, yeah. 50, it will be great. This is the land we have killer boys, it all free and squeezy. This is the land dash terror, thunder and little night.
And you see, that's one of the problems that they've been having at the general hospital. Having doctors on call at the accident and emergency seems to be a problem. Yeah, and it's a problem that they need to deal with ASAP. You're talking about building brand new hospital and teaching hospital, and all that is nice and well. But what about the person who is ill or whose life is in danger today or tomorrow? Yeah, are they going to wait until you build teaching hospital, if you ever build teaching hospital and all this sort of thing? They need to be sorted out now. And then we still hear the talk that they intend to privatize healthcare in Grenada. And I think a lot of us, we kind of forget that too. But yeah, the talk is out there that there is an intention to privatize healthcare. Right? So, in other words, take all of the health facilities from under the Ministry of Health and put them under a new body or a private entity. And you know what that is going to do? Because you've had the president of the Public Workers Union claiming that, in his view, that may be one of the reasons that they're refusing to regularize nurses, because if you break their service by you change the Ministry of Health or the hospitals and all the facilities, if you take them out from government, you have to treat every person who is working there at that point in time. According to the Constitution, you have to treat those persons as though they have retired. Yes, so they have to receive their pension and everything. You have to treat them as they are retired. So you were saying that's probably the reason that they would not want to hire the nurses and all of that, yeah? And again, I've been getting some calls in relation to supplies at some health facilities. I don't know if it's a problem at all the facilities or some of the facilities, but I've been hearing about gauze in some facilities, and so I've been hearing those talk and so on. So I don't know. I personally have not been there, but one or two people have been saying that they have a lack of these things at some of the facilities.
This is the land. Some strong leaders that come from this island, land of my birth. Let's celebrate 50. We cannot break my birth. Let's celebrate 50. It would be great. Big celebration for my little island. Let's celebrate. Oh, let us celebrate. Big celebration for my little island. Let's celebrate. Whoa, let us celebrate.
The phone lines are open, folks. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Remember, tomorrow night, we're going to be speaking about the prominent Grenadians who you believe ought to have been recognized during the independence. And we're not speaking just on Independence Day, that you get up and you say, remember person A or person B or person C. That these people ought to have been recognized throughout the period of independence. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, from since the 7th of January, the 7th of January, 1 month away, every day or every other day or so, we ought to have been emulating various people. We ought to have been speaking about various people that have made their contributions to the development of Grenada. That ought to have been taking place, yeah?
Land of my birth, I just cannot mention everybody. Land of my birth, all Grenadians just sing this song with me. Land of my birth, land of my birth.
So tomorrow night we will be discussing some of these people. As I say, come with your list, yeah? Come with your list. Of course, we wouldn't be able to take the long calls on it, but come with your list. I think we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, hi, good night.
Yeah. Hey, Brother Sheldon, what are we celebrating? Not 50 years of independence. Right? 50 years of independence. And the father of independence is Eric Matugiri. Right? That's what, he is one who got independence for Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique. He got it. And Brother Sheldon, why I'm saying that, in St. John Northwest, when it's swinging to go in for the primary school, there is a site with the father of independence and Honor and Dr. Mitchell, the longest-serving MP in Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And what happened? Saturday gone, there were some people doing some painting, and they wipe off everything and they paint it in white. Right? They paint it in white. And Brother Sheldon, while that was going on, the person who ran against the committee up here and gets so much of leaks was there. When you have a man encouraging people that support him to do all kind of evil and disrespect people, what kind of leader are you? And you are someone that was preaching the word of God. And now look at what you did. To disrespect the father of independence and the long-serving MP in Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique. That's almost for 40 years. And Prime Minister for about 22 or 23 years. Brother Sheldon, that is disrespect to the people of St. John Northwest and to the people of Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So, Brother Sheldon, that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. And let me say this, while we are celebrating our 50th anniversary of independence, Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence ought to have been an opportunity to bring all Grenadians together. That's what it ought to have been. It ought to have been an opportunity for the present administration to appear magnanimous, to give Jack his jacket and Joan she blouse. You cannot have a situation where that level of disrespect that the last caller spoke about, and all of you around the island, especially those of you who are living in St. George Northwest, the town of St. George, St. Mark, St. Andrew Southeast, and St. Andrew Northeast, you all are seeing it clearly that individuals who may represent the NDC as a political party but are not the parliamentary representative for those constituencies mentioned, that those are the people who are going about the constituency alone and trying to do all sorts of things. Constituencies that they lost. And in other constituencies, while they mouth it, while they say, okay, let us come together and let us work together and this is about unity and all this sort of thing, they say it, but they don't practice it. There's a lot of disrespect to the members of His Majesty's opposition by this administration. And believe me, before the independence came around, they were already doing a lot of disrespectful things. But it's gotten even worse now. And it's much more than this going in the schools and doing the pinning ceremony and all that sort of thing. Yeah? And some of them trying to defend that, as though that is all right. Yeah? They're trying to defend that as though that is all right. So you have a member of parliament. Let's look at St. Andrew Southeast. You have a member of parliament who is the Honorable Emlyn Pear. The approach ought to have been that you call Honorable Emlyn Pear and that you say to her, we have X amount of pins for you to distribute as you see fit. But we have this idea that we would like to distribute pins throughout the schools in the constituency. Do you think it's a good idea that we split the work and you do some schools and we do some schools, or that we can go to all these schools together to show a unified front? Yeah? No. They just go on and pin in the constituency. The same thing, you have people from the south end up all in town pinning. Yeah? You have people going in all the schools in St. George Northwest, they pinning. You have people sticking pin like if it's in Voodoo Doll up in St. Mark, left, right, and center. And they would not engage the members of parliaments for these constituencies, whom the people of those constituencies, in their numbers, decided that they are the ones that they want to represent them. They are disrespecting the will of the people, and they are by and large disrespecting the members of His Majesty's opposition. Yeah? And there are many other instances of things that they have been doing very disrespectfully since the beginning of all of this. Is one set of mawet. So you're going into constituencies, you wouldn't interact with the person who is the MP, the member of parliament, elected, duly elected on the 23rd of June 2022. You refuse to interact with that person. Yeah? And then they're talking about unify and participation and all this sort of things. You cannot be upset with people if they decide they don't want to take part in stuff. You can't be upset with them, because when they look at what you are doing to the people that they have selected or elected, when you are looking at how you are treating members of the opposition, and I mean, this was the perfect opportunity to show a unified Grenada. Perfect opportunity to show a unified Grenada. Yeah? But they're trying their best not to even recognize the contribution that Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has made to Grenada. And we're going to talk some about that tomorrow night. I don't want to go too deep into it tonight, because as I said, we're going to be speaking, and we're starting at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and we're not starting at 8. We are starting 1 hour earlier than normal tomorrow night. And due to that, I have to leave 10 minutes earlier than normal tonight. But we are starting 1 hour earlier than normal tomorrow night. Just letting you all know. So we're starting from 7 p.m. God's willing. Right? And we will be discussing a list of the 50 most prominent Grenadians. We compiling a list. We putting people on the list. And you have to come with your thesis. You have to say why that individual belongs on the list. But I'm saying here and now, without even going into that list, that the contribution of Dr. the Right Honorable, tell me one other person who in Grenada who is a member of His Majesty's Privy Council. It's only Dr. Mitchell. Yeah? Tell me another person who has the political record, not just in Grenada, in the OECS or the Caribbean, as Dr. Mitchell. Who led the way? A lot of people speak, but they seem to forget things. And again, that's why I continue to say sometimes we have to speak to the younger ones. Because when it comes to telecommunications in the Caribbean region, back in, I believe it was 2011 or 2012, ECTEL called two people. Two people they called and they awarded. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and Mr. Gregory Bowen. And you know why they awarded them? Because the telecommunication industry that was broken here in Grenada, the monopoly that existed in the 90s coming up to the early 2000s, that monopoly was broken here in Grenada, and it was a fight to break the monopoly that cable and wireless had on telecommunications, not just here in Grenada, but the whole region. So when it was broken here in Grenada, all the dominoes fall throughout the Caribbean. Because you couldn't have a mobile phone. When people call you, you had to pay. You call them, you pay. You call a wrong number, you had to pay. Yeah? So the service was limited. And it was expensive. And it was by breaking the monopoly and allowing others. At a point in time, we had AT&T was here in Grenada for a short period of time, but AT&T were here in Grenada. And then you had Digicel enter into the market as well. And now I think you also have Spice Mobile and so in the market here in Grenada. So you have options. If you don't want to use one, you use the other one. But when that was broken and that was opened up here in Grenada, it opened it up for St. Vincent and St. Lucia and all the other countries. Yeah? And I mean, if we're speaking, we could speak about other notable things that have happened here in Grenada that also affected the rest of the Caribbean. That was one of them. The breaking at the back of the monopoly. And it wasn't an easy thing. It was not an easy thing. It was not just, hey, we're bringing in other companies. It was a fight to be able to bring in other companies and offer other services, new and improved services, cheaper services, a broader range of services to the Grenadian people and by and large, the people of the OECS and the Caribbean at large. That is why they called both of them. They didn't call anybody else. They called Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and Mr. Gregory Bowen. ECTEL called them to an award ceremony and awarded them. That's the regional telecommunication body. Because of their work, they were able to ensure that now you could have the call centers are able to set up now because of the infrastructure that exists. Yeah? Grenada can be far advanced as it is in relation to telecommunications because of the foundation that was laid back then and the work that was done. Yeah? Even after Hurricane Ivan, when you had to relay and you realize instead of putting back the old copper cables, they put back the fiber and so on in different areas so that you're able to improve the system that you had in a lot of areas and offer more services, faster speeds, and so on in different areas. That's the work of Dr. Mitchell and Mr. Gregory Bowen. But a lot of people don't know, and the younger ones who are voters in the next election, they don't know because there has been a constant and consistent attempt to demonize these individuals. It has been persistent. It has been consistent. The attempt to just demonize by individuals who never do anything even close to just that one thing for Grenada. You have people that have spent 19 months in office, 19 months and some days in office. My goodness, today we're already into the second month of 2024. It take off at a speed. So we're already into the second month of 2024. And you have people who are there who have not even spent 24 months. They haven't spent 2 years yet. But they're trying to downplay the work of people who have contributed significantly to the development of Grenada. Yeah? There are other notable things that happen here. And if you want, we could talk. You could say Bloody Monday was a notable event. But that was before, just a few days before. But it was before the independence. But after the independence, you had the revolution. You had the Queen's Park bombing. You had the events of October 19th. You had the invasion or rescue mission or whichever way you decide you want to call it. But the bottom line is American troops came in. So you had all of these things. Which other English-speaking Caribbean country could say that they have gone through the things that Grenada has gone through and is still standing strong at the end? Yeah? When it came to lighting up the rural community, Dr. Mitchell name had to call again, because it was he, as the Minister of Works in the first NNP, that ensured that the infrastructure around this country was put in place so that electricity was brought to places that it never was. So many communities around Grenada, many communities around Grenada, they got electricity while Dr. Mitchell was the Minister of Works. And he put the infrastructure in place for further expansion while Minister of Works. And yet still, you don't want to call the man name? You have a man running around the constituency. The one who does talk about diarrhea, mad black woman. I think I know which mad woman he was talking about at that point in time. But you have these people that running around the constituency trying to disrespect him. You have the administration itself trying to disrespect him. Yeah? This country went through many challenges. And with many of those challenges, the person at the helm was Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. There was the damage to the economy after September 11th. It damaged the world economy. And it was the safe hands of Dr. Mitchell and his team at that point in time that steered the ship of state. You had Hurricane Ivan and what it did to this country, and then you had Hurricane Emily afterwards and what it did to these islands. And now this year you're making 20 years since Hurricane Ivan. So it means that those children that were born after Ivan don't know what we went through. That some communities had to stay for nearly a year without electricity. Those on the inside, because they electrified the main roads and then they went inside, electrifying some of the other areas. So it had one or two places that take up to a year, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, before they were able to get electricity after Hurricane Ivan. The damage to the housing stock of Grenada. And when you're speaking now about houses, you still have the houses sit down in St. David. You still have the houses sit down up there in Carriacou in Dumfries. You have the other houses up in the north of the island in St. Patrick and in Beaujeu. And the houses sit down there, but they ain't talking about that. They ain't saying anything about those houses. Those houses that were obtained through the hard work of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the late Elvin Nimrod and the NNP team. To get those houses, to secure those houses. Especially after the former NDC administration had given them up. It was NNP that had to come in, and it looked like we got to come in to get them, the rest of them again. Because it's supposed to be 2,000. But now you hear they start saying that it's only 1,000 and so on. Remember, they were saying that it had no deal for the stadium too. The same stadium that the Chinese came back and built when NNP came in. The former administration were telling you that they had no agreement for no stadium. And when Dr. Mitchell came back in, he got it here. In the early 90s, who would have thought that you would have seen World Cup cricket being played in Grenada? We saw it in 2007. Who would have thought that you could see the West Indies cricket team come and play against Australia here in Queen's Park in Grenada? Or that you would have world-class athletics like the Grenada Invitational and so taking place here in Grenada? That all of these athletes that you look at on the Olympic Games and World Championships and so, that you used to see on NBC Sports and CBS and so, that you're seeing all these athletes face to face right here in Grenada. That they come in and walk around town because they came here for the Grenada Invitational and they advertising Grenadians Beach and telling people how beautiful Grenadians Beach is. Come here. And all of that was because of the work and the vision of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. There are many people who may be coming back for the first time in many, many years. And they realize the changes that have taken place to the town of St. George. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. And I'll say it again, because in the same way that they try to malign Dr. Mitchell and the work of the New National Party, all you have to remind them that it is the New National Party that got the job done. Some of the people coming back now who may not have been here since the 1980s or the 1990s know that when cruise ships come in Grenada, they had to see if they could get a little jam over by the cargo boat. At those days, it had the boat coming, the geese boat coming and so. And if a cement boat or whatever come, and the cruise ship had to try and get a little jam over there. And if it ain't get a jam there, it have to stay out in the water. And the tenders have to go and bring them in onto the carronage. Right at the end, the southern end of the carronage there. That the cruise ships had the tenders used to come and bring in the people there. That is how they used to get into Grenada. It had no cruise ship terminal. And the fight that Dr. Mitchell and the NNP got to build that cruise ship terminal, it was no joke fight. You had all sort of people who say there was environmentalists and all sort of thing, saying that how Grenada's beach go wash away. And that how town go collapse. All nonsense they were saying. That the water from there go back and hit Cherry Hill. All foolishness. When you had to go and buy fish before, you know what where the fish market was before? On the other side of the road. And what it looked like. What people were going through there. And then not just to build the fish market there in St. George, but to build the one in Grenville and those going up the west coast. Yeah? To build those fish markets right around. That Grenada, I'm not sure if we still have it, but I know we had the opportunity. We were one of the only countries that were allowed to send fish to the European Union. We were one of the only Caribbean countries, if not the only at a point in time, that was allowed to send fish to the European Union. Yet still, a person who has done all of this, a person who has done all of this for the country, you're just trying to whitewash and whitewash their existence. They're not even saying, let us go and find some of the elder people who have contributed, who are the ones who have done stuff for Grenada, and have some talk sessions with them, have some engagement sessions with them, tape some stuff with them and put it onto the air. They're not even going and do that. All they're doing is they're following around a minister going in a school and stick pin. What the minister going and tell them? Because they for themselves refuse to acknowledge where Grenada was to where Grenada is. I could speak of Carriacou. The first time I set foot in Carriacou would have been 1994. The first time I set foot in Carriacou. And Carriacou is a very different place now to what it was in 1994. And anybody who says differently, they are not living in reality. It is much improved. And that has been through the work of the New National Party, the late Elvin Nimrod. Yeah? Through the last MP, Kendra Mathurin Stewart. It has been through the work of the New National Party over the years that they have brought Carriacou from where it was to where it is right now. And it is poised to move even further. So when you hear people out there and they're talking about Grenada and do nothing in the last how much years and so, you have to ask them, well, where were you? And some of the people talking and saying about Grenada this and Grenada, ask them, where were they? What's their contribution? What have they done to help Grenada? But they out there bad. This one, I don't like this one, and I don't like Dr. Mitchell, and I don't like this. Okay, what have you done to help Grenada? Well, I don't like Dr. Mitchell, so I wasn't taking part in. No, but what have you done to help Grenada? And they can't answer that question. They cannot answer that question. So what we have in place right now for an independence celebration seems to be some individuals who are, I don't want to use that particular word on air, but they're playing with themselves intellectually and mentally. That's what's taking place. Because it's all about them. It's not about Grenada. And let me tell you all, some serious money passing there, you know. And his girlfriend are who on committee and boyfriend are who on committee and thing filtering and all kind of thing, you know. His husband are who on committee. You are telling all you how it go. All you have 15 million or 20 something million. I have to really find out if it's 15 or 20 something million. I have to get the final thing. Somebody had to give me the final thing on that. Yeah? But don't feel that that money that money passing in some serious hand. Yeah? Because it's who have contract and subcontract. And it's who saying do this and do that and so on. And when you check who the person is, you realize that is this person girlfriend or that person boyfriend. All you think nation builders bad? All you should hear what happened when it comes to independence. And the spending spree that taking place around independence. And who that spending spree taking place with. Yeah? Find out about who doing decorations for different things. Find out about who doing in from committee. If anybody on the committee have companies. Find out if anybody on the independence committee have companies that are carrying out work on behalf of the independence committee. And how much money they receiving. And I ain't talking about no joke amount of money, eh? They making sure they pocket fat. So whether it's to put up lights on the carriage, or whether it's subcontract to paint somewhere, and then they're telling people, come and give your labor free. Come and give your labor free, and some of them making tens of thousands, even as much as hundreds of thousands of dollars. But come and give your labor free. I have paint. Come and collect some paint and go and paint. Come and I have some banners. Come and put up some banners. Come and do this, come and do that, but they're making sure that their pocket full to overflowing. In fact, they can't carry it in their pocket. They need wheelbarrow. That is what's taking place with them. We're going to talk more about it after the independence. But don't get it twisted. Some people coming out of this independence much richer than they entered into it. Don't get it twisted. And that's a fact. We ain't saying supposed rumor, maybe, is a fact that many of them who are there right now, and then the activists of the NDC, who on the NDC executive, either nationally or on a constituency level, and they are being contracted to carry out that, and they're being contracted to carry out this and so on in relation to independence. And while you're contracting this one and you give them 30,000 and you contract that one and you give them 50,000, you're coming and tell the people in the community, come out and let's do self-help. That is what they're doing. But as I said, we're going to talk more on that one. Folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. There are many things. Again, I spoke before about Tropical Storm Lenny, and that was in 1999. Now, what happened is that they had a hurricane that was passing outside from Grenada, and it caused a storm surge. And that storm surge battered the west coast of the island. So, the roadway between Guave and that was destroyed. The roadway down in St. George Northwest there, that area, what they call it, going to Cherry Hill there, that was destroyed as well. The town of St. George itself, that was the end of Pitch Pine Bar. Tropical Storm Lenny, the storm surge itself destroyed Pitch Pine Bar. It destroyed 007 Bar. That's when 007 Bar went to the bottom of the ocean. It sunk that. It damaged the NIS building and so on. It destroyed the original foundation that was there for where the fish market is now, because the first foundation had been put down and Tropical Storm Lenny destroyed that. So there were many things that happened. Over the years, you had smaller tropical storms that passed by and blew off a two-roof here and damaged crops and different things like that, landslide and so on. We've had many notable events over the last 50 years. Yeah? But we are Grenadians. We're still here. Yeah? Some good, some bad. Yeah? You had Karani James winning 3 medals at 3 Olympics. Come on, man. Independence, you hear it talking about Karani? You hear it talking about Anderson Peters or Lyndon Victor? My goodness. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Yeah, well, Scott, good night.
Hey, good night, good night.
Yes, well, my biggest concern as a Grenadian was just watching what's taking place right now in our country is that I'm hoping at the end of the dispensation of the monies, the 15 million, that some form of accountability given to the Grenadian people as to how the money is spent. You know, I say this to say, now, you know, you have just said, you hear little talks here and there, because not long ago, you know, in a little corner here, a man say, one man get $1,000 to cook oil down. Anyway.
1,000 just to cook oil long?
Just to cook oil down, yeah? And so I was saying, okay, here is it. We have 7 parishes in Grenada, and you have 15 million. Now I could see if you're telling me that you are, well, you give 2 million to every parish, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, accountability by the person responsible and all of this stuff. But there it seems to me, as I say, this money will be spent, and maybe even more too. And, well, at the end of the day, maybe we won't hear anything as to how that money is spent. Because, they say it's our money, it's taxpayers' money. Well, I guess taxpayers, we pay it for they to spend it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to add briefly, you know, I've been around, I am 50 years old, so I'm old as Grenada, I'm old as Grenada's independence, right? At least, yeah. And I want to say that, you know, as you rightfully said earlier, a lot of disrespect. And here's the reason why we have a big problem with history. You know, in my days in school, the kind of history that was taught, I mean, we walk along with it. You know, Herman Cortez and Balboa and all this kind of
Sir Francis Drake.
Sir Francis Drake and Walter Raleigh, and discovery of the Peach Lake, Balboa and the Pacific Ocean, Christopher Columbus. Here it is now, you see what I'm saying to you. The time where you need to bring forward our history. Let the children know what is what. Because even just as far back as the revolution, a lot of Grenadian young children, you ask them questions on this and you have them with their mouth open, you know, they're wondering what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, you know, at one time, 3 flags used to be flown up on the Fort George. You remember that?
Well, I may not have been around at that point in time.
Right, but 3 flags used to be flown up there. There used to be a British flag, a French flag, and a Grenada flag on the 3 flag poles that are planted on Fort George.
That I do remember, yeah.
Right, and at some point, people would ask the question, why are these flags being flown? And they would tell you, it's because there was a fight between the French and the British for the island of Grenada, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also the construction of the fort, who constructed the fort, the year it was constructed, and all of these things. You see? There were some plaques in and around, I think, that with writing on them that can tell you certain things of our history. But I just said all that I said to say that, you know, really and truly, our people, those that are defending the stupidness that is going on, and having it as it is something that's bringing us up. Way up. How are we going up? Yeah? Look, before I run off here, back under the new National Party leadership, there was a time when Carriacou was a place where when an ambulance given trouble in Grenada, it was sent to Carriacou. When a fire truck given trouble in Grenada, it was sent to Carriacou. And most of a police vehicle, government stuff. You listen me good? And kayaks listening could attest to that. What they used to get was what was refused here in Grenada by past governments. yeah, prior to the rule of the new National Party. You hear me? And I remember clearly, Dr. Mitchell, like you said, with Nimrod came around and said, you know what, Carriacou, it's about time that you all start getting your fair share of the pie. And brand new fire trucks came, brand new ambulance came, and Carriacou had the fair share of it. You hear me? Mm-hmm. I have been around and I've seen that. So people who want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, you know, again, as I said, you know, knowledge is based on facts. And most of them just talking for talk's sake. At the end of the day, there are no facts. And not that some of them don't know, you know. Some of them just want to argue as they rightfully say. Because why? You know, like Dr. Kit, the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell. That's okay. But at the end of the day, I always say, give credit where credit is due. I don't have to like you, you know. But I have to respect you for what you have done. You hear me? Give you your flowers and give it to you before you die. That's how we must go forward. You hear me? Give credit where credit is due. Don't come here and try to be, you know, sometimes I hear people just saying things. No problem. You don't must like me. You don't must like me. But I hope, but you could appreciate, at least appreciate the contributions I have made towards this country. Yeah? But to make it a safer place, to make it a better place. You know, but this is us. This is us. You know what I'm saying? You can't please everybody, but far often I'm saying we have people in this country here who are misleading. They are misleading people. Yes? Misleading. And that's the reason why your program and other programs have to be on night after night to let people know that the misleaders, they have to let them and expose them. Yeah? You know, my brother, you have a good night, son.
Thank you so very much, my brother.
You're so welcome.
All right. And folks, you know, yeah, even in remembering people, you must remember our police officers, yeah, our Coast Guard officers, because I'm a person, I don't like boats much, eh? Believe me, it's not easy to get me onto a boat. And for what I see some of these Coast Guard officers go through, yeah, and going out there in the middle of the ocean in the night. Now, somebody's on a boat out in the ocean and they're in problems because the weather is bad. And they call the Coast Guard, who have to go in the bad weather that already sinking a boat or causing people to be in problem. The Coast Guard have to go to them in the weather to try and save their lives. You hear about any special thing for Coast Guard officers, police officers, fire officers, building burning and fire officers, where everybody else running away from it, fire officers running to it. Everybody trying to get out of the building, fire officers running into the building. Yeah? Even during COVID-19, the ambulance drivers, everybody afraid, me ain't going in that area, here it are COVID, but somebody ill, the ambulance driver had to go. The nurse and whoever had to go with it, that took the orderly had to go. Yeah? But you're hearing any special recognition or so on, the only people that are being recognized and the only people that are being focused on are the NDC cabinet members. That's it, folks. Imagine. These people and them ain't even calling Brizan name. Let me repeat it. These people not even calling Brizan name. I'll challenge you all. Anybody, have you all seen a short documentary? Or have you seen a write-up? Or have you seen a billboard? Have you heard anything about Mr. George Horatio Brizan? I mean, okay, we know they're disrespectful. They don't like Dr. Mitchell. They're disrespecting the members. But even people from their own party, they're not acknowledging. Even people from their own party who have made contributions, they refuse to even acknowledge them. It's all about them. I go put on a nice dandan and go in gala. I go kawe in the gala. That's all they focused on. Yeah? I go and I go sit down in VIP in my nice outfit. And I go eat finger food, drink expensive alcohol. And I day and everybody go take picture and watch me. And I go put picture on Facebook and say, look at they. Look at they. Are they in VIP? You see how nice are looking? That is the attitude. That is the behavior of these individuals. Yeah? They're not focusing on all of those who have built the foundation that they are standing on right now. They refuse to respect them. Okay, let's look at a simple thing here. And I'll go back to the I call it the National Black Badge that they have given out all over the place, right? You're telling me they couldn't contact former parliamentarians. And when I say former, I'm not speaking of those that are in parliament right now. Former parliamentarians. At least to give them one. Even if it's just to give them one. Yeah? But the lap and cut all over the place. Yeah? Making a spectacle of it. No problem. That's, well, as what the Jamaicans say, galang? Galang. Yeah, galang. Folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. But again, why the hatred? Yeah? Why the hatred? When you look at when you look at what is taking place, are they acknowledging? Or someone is saying they have monuments on the Carriacou with different leaders. That's good. I have not been there, so I did not see that. Right? So they have monuments on the Carriacou with the different leaders. Outside of that, for who, like myself, did not go there, what have they done to help promote the other people and the work that they have done? Yeah? What have they done? It's all just focused on, if it's not the present prime minister, it's a different member of his cabinet. Everything is just circled and focused on them and them alone. And then you're going in people's constituency and you're doing all kind of things because and they're doing these things. And let me warn some of you all. In some instances, some of these people are doing these things because they're looking for a negative response from some of you. They're purposely doing some of these things because they're looking for a negative response from some of you. But we're bigger than that, isn't it? But they're looking for a negative response from some of you. So we have to be careful. All right? I missed that one. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. My good friend, I don't like boats because I get violently seasick. That's why. Every time. And you know, somebody, I mentioned it towards the end of last night's program, and I'll come back to that one. Let me just take this call. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hi, good night, caller. Hello. Okay, yeah, that person. Folks, remember when you're calling, we want to give you the opportunity. So when you're calling, speak to us, listen to us on the phone. If you're listening on the, by the time you answer, we will have to be gone. All right, yeah, so listen to us when you call. Try to listen to us on the phone itself and not try to listen for us to answer on the device, right? Nice. We've got a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Hello, Sheldon. Good night.
Hi,
How
good
are
night.
you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Well, I've been listening for the past half an hour. And your program is very interesting. Always on the program tonight.
Yes, sir.
I already talk about certain things, Sheldon, there's people who like some and there's some don't like some. But what I really want to say tonight, Sheldon, from the 70s to maybe 2021, 2020, when you look at it in general, the revolution did a lot for Grenada. Which I think, the revolution could get praises for the independence. And even Dr. Kit Mitchell, he did a lot. From the time when he was in power and out of power. And these are the guys got to be recognized. You see, everything in Grenada, Sheldon, come like an upside down. I only talk about Pitch Pine Bar. Yes, I remember that. But remember close to Pitch Pine Bar, Sheldon, there was a medical St. George's medical station.
Yep, closer to
And
the
there was
tunnel.
a skin up tree there also.
Yeah, to the tunnel side, yeah.
Exactly, and them times now, when we go to the city now, we used to go within that vicinity and take a shower in the sea.
The
And
beach
then you
right
get
there.
back home. Yeah, the beach was right there. But Sheldon, personally speaking, things is not right in Grenada. I don't know. Things are not right. I mean, listening for the longest while, I was enjoying it, but I don't know. The Lord will help all of us. You have a good night.
All right, thank you, Awi. 4407377. That's 4407377 and 347-329-3101. Folks, remember, I will be leaving 10 minutes early tonight, but I'll be starting 1 hour early tomorrow night. 1 hour early. Historian, I hope I hear from you tomorrow night, man. You have to help me back tomorrow night. I have Miles, but I want to hear from some other people. Who are some of the people they believe should have been recognized at this point in time for Grenada's? And we're not just, don't get me wrong, we're not just speaking about politicians. There are other people that have contributed to the development of Grenada, whether it be in sports or culture, community development, etc. And they need to be mentioned. We have a caller. Hello, good evening. Hi, good evening. Go right ahead, my brother. Just load the volume in the background and you could go ahead. Hello? 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 Okay, yeah. Caller, yeah, you have to listen to me on the phone. I was hearing the thing in the background, and I think you were probably waiting for me to answer from what you were hearing in the background there. No, you had to listen to me on the phone. You got through. All right, nice, cool. It may be the first time you're calling. We don't know. So you can try again. All right, 440-7377 347-329-3101. Yeah. So when you're speaking of development and so on, you're speaking of people that have contributed. There are many people that have contributed in the field of sports. There are many people that have contributed in the field of culture. You may think that there are some calypsonians and other singers and so on. It may be a religious leader that you think has done so much for Grenada over the years that they ought to be recognized. Yeah? We don't always have to sit in Grenada and wait for acknowledgement from His Majesty or Her Majesty or whoever. We could acknowledge our people, and now is an opportune time for us to acknowledge those who have contributed significantly to the development of Grenada. So again, we're not just speaking of people in the political sphere. It might be a medical doctor. It might be a teacher. It might be anybody, but we need to recognize these people. And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon Scott, good night.
Camille Teresa Scott.
And good night to the Grenadian people. Ari, good night, son. You never come back. You tell me you're coming back, you come back. And I'd rather speak about the Esplanade. Sheldon, where you see the terminal is, we used to be there, coming down from where under the old supermarket, where the supermarket was.
Oh, there's a bay there too.
Big seawall. Then we get to the NIS, right between under supermarket. There was a little beach. We used to call it Miami Beach. Excuse me. All the people in the town of St. George, that is where we used to go on the beach and bathe. They call it Miami Beach. And Georgie Salam had the bar there, and he had some people that had, a lady from the road, an Indian lady. Everybody had a little booth, and they had the medical station was right there, coming to the end of where they're selling the food now. Sweet tradition.
Yes.
That area there was the health center. I used to go there and especially when I was pregnant with my children. That area there.
And Grenadians
This
bus
place-
stand was around there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
This place. Mr. Deacon Mitchell hasn't been born yet. And some of them don't know about that area there. That was Gary and everybody should be Mr. Freedom. Mr. For the freedom, there's nights when you want to see a minister in Gary cabinet, you go in on the Esplanade. You hear? And see these people, because they will sit down there with people, and all the people in the town of St. George, River Road, Granville Street, Williamson Road, and at evening we go with children and sit down and breathe out. Breathe out there.
I
They
never knew
used to
that.
light the Christmas tree. Grenada smile. Of course, say Grenada. You hear what I say? We saw the Christmas tree lighting. Town used to be nice. I remember I 67 years of age, you know. Right now. Yeah. I remember again. There's a lady in the town of St. George that she deserved a medal. Miss Pamela Steele. Pamela Steele. That is a lady that feed us in this town for years. You get in your hamper, and on Saturday you go in and eat. Nobody else speaking about that. That lady feed a lot of us in this country here. And then you get a little coupon. You still getting food, you get in your hamper, and you still getting a coupon. That lady work in this country, and she's still doing it. Nobody will say nothing. That's how I want to feed everybody. Some of them, I don't want to call them, I don't want people to say rude. Because some of them, that they in the cabinet now, and I in the sea right now, you should go and get the food there. And Market Hill, where the large places don't say Mr. Mera Steel. You understand? Sean Peter David, boss, good night wherever he is. You're getting you everything, and we used to go and sing and eat. And a man speak earlier on, and he said, give the Dr. Mitchell, you don't worry about who like you and who don't like you. There is people in this country that love you, and he's not in cabinet, and he's still helping right now. I could testify to that. Right now, right this moment, that man helping a lot of us in this country. Even after NDC supporters, when they go to him, he still shove it in his pocket and he buy the jazz for them. So I look to say, what the hell are you want about Dr. Mitchell? He deserves praise from God. You go get it from God, not all you. He's still helping right now. And some of you ministers don't give nothing, they don't want to see all you. We're the ungrateful set of people. I don't want to be ungrateful. Sheldon Scott. I remember I Camille Kiwiza Scott. I remember when I came from America. I went back to the Ministry of Finance because I used to work there. That time I did frosting with all the old ice in my head. And I went to Dr. Mitchell. He had to get the reward now when he dead. He can't hear what I said when he dead. I went to that man with my daughter. I make a child in America. And I came with his child. And we went and see Dr. Mitchell. And I said, boss, all I need is a house swat. If I lie tonight, God deal with me. That same day, Dr. Mitchell called a man by the name of Mr. Campbell. And he said, Mr. Campbell, he said, all on in Grenadians, the only place to go get that spot is in Boucherville. I said, so anyway, he called Mr. Campbell and he told him, go and give me a place. Right now, anybody in Grenada want a bunch of bloggers, come. A real blogger in that house spot. A house spot to give me. So you don't run out of motor. I woman said this morning on a different program. Thank God for this present government. Children getting money to go to school. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Keith Claudius Mitchell, send all your children to school. They get in their allowance, they go in the treasury. I don't know what do that crazy woman, she mad. Dr. Mitchell give Grenadians children. give them the bus money. Why did they getting that bus money now? Parents, children get scholarship on the NNP government. Dr. Michel put a roof on a lot of us head. All you ungrateful, Mali West. All you ungrateful. All you ungrateful. Mali West. I telling all you Mali West in Grenada tonight. Because I do bad mind. Even if you don't like Miss Cammy, and Miss Cammy do something good, give me what due to me. Give me what due to me. The man walk. That man walk in Grenada. He and the rest of ministers, they walk. He walked. Where Deacon Mitchell was, where he was. Where he was. Hey, I too bad man and wicked. And I won't leave him alone. And you can do me nothing. Because anyone out you inside that cabinet mess with me, I'm busting out your bubble. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I'm busting out your bubble. I'm getting in media. I'm getting one of the media houses in Jamaica or in Trinidad, and I'm busting out your bubble. So I will be very careful. I will pass and harassing me. Be very careful. And Sheldon, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I have already members that come from America. I have family members that come from America right now. They give them a one-way ticket and they tell them to register. You hear what I say?
Cammy.
And I sung tobacco well first.
Cammy.
Have a good night, Grenada.
Cammy.
I don't care what.
You know I was hearing that, but you just confirm it for me. I was hearing that is a one-way ticket a lot of them get.
One way. My family come to me in the terminal today. And she said, a one-way ticket she come down with. She and her husband. And they're planning now. They have little things to sell. Yes. They will make up a little money to buy a ticket to go back up. And it's a gospel truth. And she said they have to register. So I tell her she have to go by the Sun Hill.
Mm-hmm.
In the parliamentary office. Go there. But the good thing them is NNP. So I'm glad they bring them down with the one-way ticket. Them is NNP supporter. Have a good night, Grenada. And I don't care what nobody say. You can't do me nothing. You can't do me nothing. Good night. Party, don't laugh, Sheldon. That's seriousness.
Oh gosh,
we must be grateful for the little things.
I love the way you put it down.
We have to be grateful for the little things.
Yes. We have to. Nice serious business. Thank you so very much, Cammy.
Good night.
Good night. Yes, indeed. Let me give you. Cammy mentioned something there. She mentioned about children going to school, and let me just give you all a little story. And you know, one of these days when we are speaking with Dr. Mitchell, let him give you the story directly. In fact, let me see if I can take this call on the WhatsApp first. Give the callers the opportunity, and then I will come back with that story. I have it noted here, so I'll make sure I come back with that. We've got a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear.
I was listening to Carmi just now, Liana. She made up something because I used to at a police station.
Oh, but you break up slightly there.
Hello, do you hear me?
Oh, you're good now. Go ahead.
Right. You see, I was listening. But maybe she forgot to mention that there was a police station at the Esplanade, a substation. I used to work there at the WPC on the desk.
Okay, that's at NIS building there.
Yeah, we had a police station right there in front there, and then Cape Anales now was on the other side of the road. That is where Susa Road there.
Yeah.
They had Cape Anales, and I used to work there I used to work there as the WPC, and Sergeant Smith, she from Monjaloo, she used to be the sergeant there.
Okay. And that was a good few years ago.
Yeah, a good few years ago.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, caller, for adding to the knowledge that we have gathered here tonight.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. That's the number for you all to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program, or 347-329-3101. And I was just about to tell you all, Cammy mentioned scholarships and so on. And you know, and every time I'm going to speak about that one, somebody call. But I'm going to speak about scholarships. We have a caller online. Good night.
Pleasant good night, my brother. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. Listening, since you talked about Sir Eric Matthew Gary, that whole program sometime last week, I must call. Well, I've learned a lot, right, over these past few days talking about independence. But one person came to my mind, which I had to research when he started. He started in 1974. That was, I call him the Honorable Victor Ashby, Principal Emeritus or something so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has contributed a lot to the way some boys have shaped up to be the young men they are today. Now, everybody didn't take. Old people will say everybody didn't take, but the greater majority could always look back. And the amazing thing about that gentleman, even the bad boys or the gangsters will say, it's because of him they have changed their lives around. I remember there was this bad boy in school in my time, and first time I seen that, the guy is a gang member, but he gave him trouble in school. And Mr. Azri made the man come to school on Saturday in full school uniform if they see the man in town. It's like they had a respect. He used to command a respect that was unparalleled. Even when we used to wait for a bus by the tunnel, remember when they had that bus stop right there?
Yeah.
And when Mr. Ashby used to be walking there after school, children from other schools running from the man, is like he had to, because he didn't want us to wait for a bus there, but when he come, children from other school had to shape up or shape out. I remember some people, a group of boys and girls ran away. I think some was from Boca School. Mr. Ashby walked with the boys to GBSS, and then those from Boca, I think he took them in his car and he drove up to Boca to meet the principal to talk to them about the wayward children. So could you imagine that it's not your principal, but you willingly go in his car to go up to be reprimanded at your school? So I just want to recognize Mr. Victor Ashby, Principal Emeritus. As I said, I'm using honorable tonight. And he
but
should
tomorrow
be somewhere along the line.
Tomorrow night we're going to be, he's an educator, and tomorrow night we're going to bring him up again, because we're going to go over all the people that we believe should be on a list and recognized, that ought to have been recognized at this point in time. And definitely his name would come up.
I go to the school, but it's just tonight by Google, I realized he started in 1974, and I think that is where it is significant.
Yes, 50 years ago.
He was a principal for 39 years. And I think some of the persons in the revolution, I think most of them didn't reach that age, so to speak. So it's like the amount of years he was principal, certain persons who took part in the revolution didn't get to reach that age in their lives. I don't know if it's significant to the people who love numbers. They could chew on that. Thank you so very much.
Okay, my brother. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And we're going to take calls in a short while. I just want to tell you all. Now, Grenada has quite a number of young people who were able to go and be doctors, engineers, etc. after the revolution, were able to go to Cuba and were able to study. In fact, there are many young Grenadians in Cuba as we are speaking. Yeah, they're in all different parts of Cuba studying right now. And the rapport between Cuba and the Caribbean only reopened because of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Now, you know, there's the embargo on Cuba, and due to that, many other Caribbean countries were afraid to go and speak to Cuba, and especially after the invasion of Grenada and the rounding up of the Cubans, and you send them back and everybody afraid to interact or talk with Cubans, and all that took place. Yeah? So all the other Caribbean countries, be it Barbados or Jamaica, everybody afraid to interact with the Cubans on that level after the Grenada invasion of 1983. You know who reopened the rapport, who reopened the engagement between the Caribbean, especially the Lesser Antilles, and Cuba? Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. It was he who went to Cuba, met Fidel Castro, and reopened the door. So then you had all the assistance that was being given, scholarships and so on, young Grenadians who otherwise may not have gotten an opportunity to learn medicine and so on. Many of the opportunities that people hadn't had since the days of the revolution, Dr. Mitchell reopened that door. And you know, as he opened that door, what happened? As soon as he go, Barbados follow. And Trinidad. And the rest of the Eastern Caribbean start to follow. Everybody start to engage with Cuba. And now they as well have people who are back contributing to their country and their economy because of the door that Dr. Mitchell opened back to Cuba. Everybody else was afraid. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was the one individual who was brave enough, even in the face of the relationship between the Americans and Cuba. He was the one who was brave enough to go and engage with Cuba. Yeah? In fact, I think the story goes, from what I heard, when Dr. Mitchell went to Cuba, Castro tell him, "You're a very brave man." Because you know how it goes. So you're a very brave man. Yeah? So all of these things. So a lot of young people from Grenada got the opportunity to go and study in Cuba through the work of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. And again, the same as when he opened the door with the telecommunications and they broke the monopoly that Cable and Wireless had. The same thing with when they opened the door for young Grenadians to be able to go to Cuba and study. They also opened the door for all the other Caribbean countries to be able to do the same, because all man jack, all them other political leaders, prime ministers at the point in time, they were afraid to go to Cuba. They were afraid. They're thinking of consequences, what the Americans go think, what they're going to say. So they were afraid. Dr. Mitchell went. Yeah, and we are seeing the benefit. There are doctors right now at most of the health facilities around the island that got that opportunity because Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell opened that door. Engineers that are working in some of the ministries and many of the private entities around Grenada and the Caribbean right now from Grenada that got the opportunities to go and do, whether it's chemical or civil engineering or whatever it is, they got the opportunity to do that through that opening of that door. And you're telling me a person like that, you don't want to recognize? Come on, man. They have to do much, much better than that. 440-7377. And let me just make sure the lines are clear. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. I'm seeing something keep happening with yeah, let me just clear that right here. The overseas lines keep blinking and then coming off. So let me just make sure it's clear. So 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. Somebody is saying the Esplanade had a bridge too. Yeah, I seem to remember that. Hello, good evening.
Sheldon, good night. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And listen, don't forget, Dr. Mitchell is the one that got Castro to visit Grenada.
Yes, Castro did come. I was there.
Canteen playing field. The Honorable Fidel Castro stand up and he looked up at the hill. Everybody thought he was looking at Richmond Hill and he pointed and he said, "We're not talking about the people up there. We're talking about people up there." All right? I was there front and center. So listen, those guys are never know nothing. And what Camille said, in the days gone by, on the Esplanade, that used to be the hot point for Carnival. Everybody used to congregate there for the bands and them to watch the bands coming on Market Hill or at Juve morning or the parade of the bands.
Yes.
All right? So, again, to the little and to the dumb doesn't know anything. They could sit there and say what? But tomorrow night, we would have the names of the people who should be nominated for, heroism in Grenada for 50 years. Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you. And additional to that, when you had the build up to Carnival, like they had the Carib Road show and it used to be right by Pitch Pine Bar there on the Esplanade. So you used to have different artists, you want to bust your tune, you come and you bust your tune on the Esplanade right by Pitch Pine Bar. And so I know it for 1 or 2 years. I was not wrong for that long to get the full thing before before Lenny do what he do in 1999. But I remember when it's Carnival time that they used to have activities right there by Pitch Pine Bar and Esplanade and everything. I remember that there was a beach close to the tunnel. There was a beach right about where the entrance to go into the Ariza car park and so on. There was a beach somewhere there that sometimes Juve morning people go and they wash off and thing there. And sometimes fellas just go and be there and different things like that. So I remember that as well. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and to get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? Yeah, call and get onto the program. Nice, beautiful. 440-7377. And someone is saying here that Mr. Ashby started in GBSS in 1981 and left in 2006. So we had to get it incorrect, eh? Nice. Somebody go ahead and call and give us it incorrect. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night.
Good night, caller. You go right ahead.
Yeah, then the tunnels go straight on. Is they all about all that was seawater in the days growing up.
I haven't heard what you said. The tunnel to where?
Tunnel go right up to the new what do you call it now? The new fish market. Is Dr. Keith Mitchell with Dumbstone and extend Grenada. St. George's.
Okay.
Yes, and I mean, you have to show respect. We respect you.
All right.
And in coming back again, they want you to have traffic to Belmont to get to town and to open that place from the Lagoon Road and to get back to the Carriacou. Dr. Tippichel open that road there again so that it could have a two-way traffic back then because it was a one-way traffic. All right then.
Thank you very much. Yeah. 440-7377. Yeah. So yes, it was. Yeah. 440-7377. That's the number. And I don't know if many of you may remember. I was kind of accident prone at a point in time, so I was always back and forth in the hospital. Yeah, whether it's to get some stitches in my head or to go and put a cast on a leg or a cast on a hand or some kind of thing, or I think I crack a rib or whatever. But I was always up there. And I'm not talking about what we have now. I'm talking about the old colonial building that used to be there. Yeah, that a lot of people were upset when the new National Party was building the new facility. We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon.
Good night. Yes, sir.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Bull speaking.
Yes, I make out the voice, man. Go ahead.
Right when they're talking about down by the tunnel there, I could remember a net cast day and let's say about 6 or 7 boatload of jacks and a lot of shit inside the net. I could remember that. Come right up a bay. And in the revolution, in Gary time, I get jail too, you know. They put me in jail. They say I either mongoose, I either counter, either all kind of thing. With Tillman Thomas all about Water Bay.
Okay.
Post gang wasn't to set trap. He had a real mongoose gang with Willie Pram on heads. I was a member in it too. So Peru call and tell you them shit there. You don't know what he's talking about.
Wait.
He had a mongoose gang.
Bull.
He had a mongoose gang. I know that. I was a part of it with Heads, Willie, Dudley, Pram, and a lot of Gian, a lot of us. So don't let it tie you up with that.
All right, brother.
All right.
Okay. So a mongoose call and say it had mongoose. 4407377. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Alan.
Hi, good night. You're live. Go right ahead.
And Esplanade, where the old police station was there. There was a health center. When I go into combined school, where they call Back Street, we used to pitch marble on the Esplanade there. We had Bamboo Bar, we had Georgie restaurant, we had Satan and them had a bar there. We had a lot of bar there, and then they bring down the health center down to the tunnel side. I think the Esplanade was a very nice place. 2 big trees, and people used to come and sit down there, and they used to light up Christmas tree in town. And town was a very nice place at that time. Right there, and you're from school, you see, sometimes when you see Ruffy Hippie coming in all in the school. You know, and they come so good now, so developed now that you can't even remember where the sea was, where the sea was now. I mean, when people talking, we always talk about what Dr. Mitchell do. A lot of people don't realize how Dr. Mitchell developed tongue, St. George's tongue, you know. And, I mean, come on, give Jackie jacket.
Of course.
But according to everybody, God will sharing bread, not man. Whatever they do, they can't stop him. God is good. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, caller. Yeah, 4407377, 347-329-3101. So yeah, you can call and let us know some of the things that were happening around. And then you had the Eastern Main Road project that was done. Yeah, where the road was done going all the way up to Grenville and then further afield going up to St. Patrick. There. On the other side, you had the Western Main Road project that was done. All of these things were done again. In fact, the NNP used to be speaking about roads in miles. Now, how much feet a road you do a year? We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, I will be brief.
Go right ahead.
That caller just talked there, he's so right. He is right about that. And the police officer, she tell the truth, yes. I remember the police station was right there too. Right by Miami Beach. That is in the back of, and I said had the park, the parking cars they know. And Bull talk about them jacks, but nobody used to want to them jacks. They used to say that the hospital jacks. They sold a lot of big jacks getting through by the tunnel in the back there. You understand?
I remember
so
seeing
a lot of people, and I will always say they're so ungrateful. Dr. Mitchell on the NNP, that Bill Grenada, the hardest song as how it is. I remember 2 years back when my uncle came to Grenada. That man lived and went and played football in America. When the man come back, the man didn't even know where he walking. He did not know where he walking. He got mad with it and he didn't know. The man walking with it and he say he don't do nothing. And I heard what Kit Mitchell do. Are you can't sleep in the night though? Are you conscious of the beat are you? Bad and wicked. Dr. Mitchell, good. Dr. Mitchell walking with and I'm afraid to always say that. Because I know how the tongue was. I know how the tongue of St. John was. We used to sit on that sea wall. The man in Lion here, when he waved, hit that, he going in all inside while Gilima. That was Mr. Lady and was at that store they said in the ring. Are you content to beat all you and he help all you, some all you. Mr. Bosco, the man with the glasses, was right there. RCP Mo, he was the speaker of the house in every time. Good night. I will tell you how old is Jack Mary Show. Jack Mary Show was a old journalist, you know. But my child's uncle, in the tongue, call no for people in the tongue of St. George. My mother come out in Sutton, but I'm born in tongue. Good night.
All right, Gabby.
And Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
You know BBC school?
Yes.
You know how does the uniform? White pants and white shirt.
I've seen photos of that one.
BBC
That's
school.
what I've seen. Yeah.
No, they are green pants and white shirt. The uniform used to be white pants and white shirt. Mr. Gregory Boy used to wear white pants and I used to sit down over and watch them go to BBC. What some of you know? They don't know that. Some of them are there inside it. Where are they there?
Can we later? 4407. I have seen photos of it. I would not have been around to see it, but I have seen photos of the students at PBC with the white or cream pants that they used to wear and so on. Yeah, that's way before my time, eh? That's way before my time. I am not 50. I still have a few years to go before I reach up there. Yeah, I have a few years, well, before I get there. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear.
Miss Connie forget they had the register office right by where they had the health center. They had the register office there too.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I went there to register my children.
Okay, wonderful.
So I just want to let her know, to remind her that the register office was there too.
Okay, thank you so very much.
You have a good night.
All right. Oops, we lost that one. Yes, somebody was trying to call on the overseas line. Oops, yeah, let me see if we could get the one on this line. Let me see if I can get it here. Hello, good night.
I just want to let her know, to remind her that
Hello,
the
good
register
night.
office was there too. Okay, thank you so
Hello,
much.
good night.
All right.
Good night. Okay, so we lost that one. Yep, they were listening to the radio to hear me answer. Let's go to the overseas line. Hello, good night.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mr. Scott, you're getting some history, boy.
Yes, man. Again, it live and direct. Well, go right ahead.
Because they had the St. George's Government School right there, right in front of where Andal is there.
I hadn't known that. Hello? 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 Oh boy. My good friend, it seems as though you will have to give me a call back. Yeah, let's see. Hello, good night. Hello?
Yeah, I get cut off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But you go right ahead.
Yeah, and then where you think we should go and eat children, poor people children? You see that building in the middle of the market there? They used to call it Fletcher Breakfast Shells. Right?
Oh.
Because in front of the market was everybody's. You know?
I hadn't known about these things. No, you're there.
Was everybody? Yeah, in front of the market was everybody's, man. That was a huge store. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And make it easy. As Camille was saying, in front of the other little beach right there, next to the health center. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All that way Andal day. And a little high up, a man had a shop they called Fat Man. Fat Man had a shop there. Because you used to run from Fat Man and run straight and then guys jump over into the sea. You understand?
What?
Because there was an underground tunnel you could go inside Backstreet School and go downstairs. You understand? Let me show you where the slaves, they used to bring in people from the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people know that.
No, those places are still there, yeah.
And almost the market underground.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went to school there. And that's a lot of things people don't know. Have you asked the was the name of the hospital before? They don't know they used to call it the Colony Hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I spent some time at the Colony Hospital. It was looking as the Colony Hospital still, but the name had probably changed by then. Hello? I'm not sure what is happening with my good friend's line tonight. Hello? Oh boy, yeah. It's I'm not sure what is taking place with his connection tonight. I don't know. I'm not sure what's taking place there. You'll call back if it's anything. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And let's see. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night, caller. You go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah. Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
I wonder when the people get to the stadium on the 7th and they ask Deacon who built that stadium, those two stadiums, who we going to tell them?
The Chinese.
I wonder who we going to tell them, Billy?
He goes to the Chinese.
The place where Dickon working, who built it? But he's still saying, the Prime Minister ain't do nothing.
It's interesting, my brother. You're making a very valid point. Hello? 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 I don't know what's happening. What's happening with some of the calls tonight. 4407377. That's 4407377. That is the, let me see if it's the board. 4407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto tonight's program. Let me see the overseas line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon, and how are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
I've been trying to reach you for the longest time. The last time I called, the call dropped. But I have the opportunity to talk to you tonight, and that makes me very happy.
Yes, you go right ahead.
Because I always listening to you. And what the last caller now say about that station on the Esplanade, it's a fact because my dad worked there as a police officer.
Wow.
And about the Mongoose gang, it's a fact because I know some of the men in the Mongoose gang.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to say. I just want to confirm the truth because your talking point always bring nothing but the truth. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. And don't be a stranger. Make sure you call again. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, my love. 4407377. That's 4407377. I've got about 6 more minutes before I gotta run. So I'm gonna take your calls and I'm gonna take them quickly. 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Let me see if I can pull this call over. 4407377. And let's see. Come on. Yeah. Hello, good night. Hello.
I was trying to reach your program tonight from overseas, but
you're live. No, you're through and you're live right now. You've gotten through and you are live. Go right ahead, sir.
No. That's okay. Once I could listen to the program.
Okay, but you're live, eh? It's on. We're still on and you're live. Hello? Okay, maybe they changed their mind. 4407377. As I said, I'm going to have to take the calls and take them quickly. Let's see. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, brother.
Hi, good night, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm quite fine.
Yes, that's quite interesting program as usual.
Yes. We must remember where we came from to know where we're going.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. We're talking about around now, we're talking about independence and we look to celebrate 50 years. And so we should be highlighting, the good, the bad, and it's all because you have to look at everything to see where your mistake was made and, where we should change. But also to highlight the good and honor those people who actually really, do good things. And, just to sit back and to listen to people still saying in this day and age, that Dr. Kit has not done anything. I mean, that's really ridiculous. Mm-hmm. People have to be really naive. I just think that, as a people, if we are looking to build our people to, transform them and to bring them into the future, to learn them, make them be able to be self-sufficient and so that they can do what they could do for themselves and show more of the talent. We have to educate, we have to talk the truth. Yes. You understand? So when people are saying that, sometimes I wonder, what it is, people, they are really, having, just disrespecting, I think, the knowledge and education of people in this era with those things are the thing we're talking about. I mean, you want to talk that you have changes, you want to make changes. Mm-hmm. You have to make changes. You have an independence, and you have to work with everybody because independence is not only for a party, it is for Grenada and Grenadians, and so everybody should be. But more often than ever, that you were wrong and you're saying, even the way they do things, it's a one side, and it's like they to, if you want to come on board, but we should reach out, and that's what this independence celebration of 50 years should be all about. And I think
exactly.
Much more should be done by the NDC party to promote what we are going to, or what they want to celebrate, or what we should be as a people.
I thank you so very much for your contribution, caller. Well put. All right. Thank you so very much.
All right. Have a blessed night and continue.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you.
Continue good work. Great.
All right. Thank you. And folks, I have to run. I'm taking one more. I'm going to take, what did I say? One for the road? Let me take one for the road. Hello, good night.
Shalom, good night.
Good night, my dear.
That program is very interesting, and I think that you should do it again. I'm only 40 years old, and all I can remember is where Republic Bank is.
Yeah.
I used to go there and take the Sotes bus, and where I remember the health center. Mm-hmm. So that program have really, really interesting because I'm learning a lot from the people. Good night.
All right, my dear. Thank you. And folks, oh boy, every time I say I go in, one more. Hello, good night. Hello? Ooh, they got through, you had gotten through. But folks, we're going to have to wrap it here tonight. And let me just say, remember, next week, Friday, Breadfruit Fest is taking place. Also, remember, Mr. Wayne Noel, you can contribute to his dialysis treatment at the Nexa Credit Union. Nexa Credit Union, the number is 211093. 211093. That's the account number at Nexa Credit Union that you can donate to assist Mr. Wayne Noel. Also, remember that on Saturday at 6 a.m., that's going to be out there in St. David at the La Sagesse office there. They're going to be having a breakfast sale to assist Mr. Wayne Noel Turkey, as we call him, and so on. And then also on Saturday from noon, that's going to be St. Andrew Northeast. They are having their oil down and drinks and so on sale. That's going to be by the Old Plain in Pearls. Also on Saturday from 6 a.m., the St. George Northeast Women's Arm, they're having their cake sale in front of Purcell's Place. Tomorrow night, we're going to continue the conversation, folks. Sorry for those of you that are trying now to get through, but we can't take the call because I must leave at this point in time. But tomorrow night, we are going to discuss fully. We're going to call names. We're going to say this person should be recognized. We're going to speak about events and places. So tomorrow night, we're going to be discussing all things Grenadian. All right? So in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. I am out.
I'm proud, I'm strong. I am a Grenadian. Yes, man. Grenada, the land where I was born. I know you were suffering. Men have raped you and abused you and left you there crying. I devote my heart, my body and my soul. I stretch forth my helping hand to help you out. I haven't got diamond, silver, nor even gold, but blessings I give to its west, north, and south. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come, sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever let you down. Oh no, I'll always be your support. Right here by your side, with my arms around you,
to wipe your weeping eye. Oh yeah. Dun, dun. It's quite a long time now since you have fallen back to the last rung of the ladder, and your neighbors stand up there and uttering no talk, but to help they just don't bother. Some of your friends have turned their backs on you. They don't want to see a friend with your name on it. Don't bother